Hello, 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 my loves. How are we? We are going to do the week ahead reading. And so there's some crystals around the border actually today. And so this is really all about love. There's a lot of energy that is bringing us back to love. And the easiest thing to do in some instances is to not be loving. There's a lot of really heavy, challenging energy, and there's a lot of purging and releasing that's going on. And so sometimes it's really challenging to stay in the vibration of love through those transitions. But I feel like already we're being reminded that the best thing that we can do is come from a place of love instead of a place of anger. So that's something we're definitely being reminded of, is not only is love all around us, but it also is something that we can spread out to others even in the midst of challenges. So what is the overall energy of this week? I was actually doing a pre-shuffle and it was talking about basically leaving the places where you don't feel like you fit in. And a big part of that is because you are meant to be somewhere that's abundant. You are meant to be somewhere that is going to really fuel you going forward. But there's going to be, it's like you know where it is that you need to go, because likely the seeds that you've planted are going to come out and blossom for you. But there is a challenge of, is it going to be exactly where you expected it to be, or do you need to make some sort of changes along the way? And this is about really tapping into your intuition and listening to yourself and then taking action based on what your intuition is telling you to do. And you can do things like ask the angels and the guides to come in and show you through love instead of showing you through fear what the right thing is, because it can be hard to distinguish, are we staying safe and small out of fear, or is that because it's the right action that we're supposed to be taking, something doesn't feel quite right? If you're not really sure, you can ask for it to come in and be shown through love. But there's something that we're going to have to leave behind to get to this place of plenty, to get to, maybe it's a limiting belief. Maybe it is something where you think that what you want can't actually happen, or you don't have what it takes, or there's some type of scarcity mindset that's likely putting you in a position where you don't think that you can have exactly what it is that you want, but you can, and you're being asked to leave something behind. This can look so different in so many different scenarios. If it's in regards to work, it could be a behavior that needs to be left behind. It also could actually be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be a place. It could be a thing. For me, like, I'm purging a lot of, like, literally an entire lifetime worth of stuff and getting rid of it to make space for the new. So it could even be as simple as that. It could be habits. It could be limiting beliefs, behaviors, mindsets, perceptions. Like, this can play out in so many different ways. So take what resonates for you, but you really do have what it takes to move into a very fruitful, beautiful, abundant space. Challenging though. It's not easy to leave this behind. Even when you have the divine support coming in to help you to move into this phase, it's not necessarily easy. I gave up sugar last week, for example, and just to do that has been a challenge. And I have had to rely on my higher power to connect to that instead of these external things that I've used over time to make me feel better. I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, but that's exactly what I was doing. And so I'm being asked to let these things go and lift up. And I feel like I am absolutely not alone, and the things that I share are for a reason. So that is the overall energy of the week. What's something unexpected that arises this week? What's something unexpected that arises this week? To overcome, first you have to climb. This is where it is a challenge to move into this new phase, but it's like you don't get to see the new heights at the top of the mountain if you're not willing to take the first step and just start going. And literally it's one step at a time. We don't need to look at how big it is or how far we have to go. All we have to do is focus on the very next step that we have to take and just start walking towards the light. So that is going to be something unexpected, where it's really a week of action and taking those steps to move forward. What is the inspiration for this week? What's the inspiration for this week? How are we going to be inspired? This is the perfect time, knowing that it's the right time, and you have to speak your truth with passion. This is where you're going to have that conviction that it's like, this is where I'm supposed to go. And so I'm seeing all of the red, and the red is all about your root chakra, which is about stability. And this is about feeling, I feel like it's going to feel unstable at first as you start going down this new path, but it's like, you know that you're moving into the light. You know that you're moving into these beautiful places, and it is time to take action. It's like the stars are literally aligning for you to do this, but stay grounded, stay rooted, and know that where you're going, other people don't have to go with you, but maybe you need to ask for what it is that you need. Maybe you need to ask other people. Maybe it's your divine team. They can step in and help you. But speak your truth and ask for what it is that you want. What's the necessary action for going forward? So when it says speak your truth with passion, this card came out last week. And this was all about taking kind of a break instead of, being all fired up and running right into it. It's like, go slowly. Move into this energy slowly. It's like slow and steady wins the race is what I'm getting out of this. And don't let those old things tempt you into staying where you are. Don't let those old things that seem like a comfort and seem like they're best for you, don't let that hold you back, because your inspiration is moving out of that energy and actually moving into something that's great, not something that just sounds great or looks good on the surface but feels terrible inside. It's time to move into something that truly is great for you. What is the inner self message this week? What's the inner self message this week? Okay, so again, this is somebody who's very fiery, moving right in, charging full steam ahead. This is saying, don't do that. Little changes matter. Little changes will make a difference for you going forward. So if it's just one thing a day, like I was saying this morning, that, if I lose a pound a week from changing my habits and my behaviors, at the end of the year, that's 52 pounds as long as I stay consistent. So it's about consistent, small actions. It doesn't have to be everything all at once right now. So be patient with yourself, give yourself some grace, and just take the next right step. The relationship message this week. What's the relationship message this week? And I feel there's been a lot of energy around love and relationships this week. So again, these messages could be for one person specifically. Only take what resonates, because it might just be there's one part of this reading that is for you. Something else might be for someone else. So just take these as it resonates. But you have my heart completely, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I regret the times I didn't listen to you. Your feelings mean so much to me, and I should have been more attentive. So that could be two totally separate messages altogether, but what I'm picking up from these two cards coming out together is that there's likely something within the relationship that's been a challenge, and maybe it's not something that has been spoken out loud, but it's like, I know, or somebody knows on the inside. I know, you know, they know. Somebody knows on the inside that there was a real opportunity to change things. That it's like this opportunity that was just missed. This opportunity to have clear communication, to really connect. This is where it's like a challenge right now. And I feel like it's this, a kind of battle between, do I stay or do I go in some instances? And this is saying, you have my heart completely. I wouldn't have it any other way. There might be some kind of awakening that it's like, maybe there's this moment of, really, is this going to come together in a better way, or is this going to fall apart? This week is going to be a challenge within the relationships and trying to figure out, even if you have my heart, is this in the best place for us to stay at this point in time? Can things change? Do things need to change? What do I want? What do I need this to look like for me? And is there really anything that you should be sharing in regards to that? Because maybe there's times you haven't paid attention to them. And maybe there's times, we can be on our phone instead of having connection time with our partner, or prioritizing all these other things in life so that we just don't have that time. Maybe it's also time to refocus on the relationship instead of everything else. What's the challenge this week? Challenge this week. Letting your angels lift you up because it's uncomfortable. And it may not feel like it's the right time to let go of what it is that you still want to hold on to. This is saying you have the opportunity and it's time. You have something valuable that you're going to want to hold on to. Or maybe this is something that just sparkles and seems like it's something you really want to hold on to, but it's not in your best interest. So that's going to be a challenge this week of really trusting the process and letting go of anything that maybe has held value to you over the years and over time, that now it's time to let go. The version of you that had that loved that thing, whatever it happens to be, whether it's an actual thing or a belief or a pattern or a behavior, whatever this is, it served you at one point in time. But for you to move into who you are becoming instead of who you've been, maybe that thing that held so much value for us really needs to be let go to make space for something new. What is the support for this week? Let's go to these cards. What's the support for this week? Surrender to the divine and change perspectives. That was the same from last week, so that is something that continues. It's like what we actually thought was reality is not, and like literally this card also came out last week. You're gonna have more than enough support in your life. It might feel like you're going at it alone at this point in time, but keep on your path because the right people are going to come in and support you as you continue to move forward. But don't forget to ask the divine for help. But it really is going to take a whole change of mindset to be able to let go and move forward. What's the advice? You've got options. You get to choose. Are you going to stay on the same path that really doesn't lead anywhere? Or are you going to try something new? Or you're going to take some new action? Or you're going to take some new steps to move forward and just see where this road takes you? You can't see where it's going to go. You can see that this other one's pretty overgrown and it looks to be a dead end. Are you going to be brave enough to step into this new place because you're being asked to? And what's the outcome of this week? Healthy habits and grounding. So the healthy habits, like these same cards keep coming out. And it's like there needs to be a focus on our health, a focus on our well-being, mental, physical, spiritual, but keeping ourselves really grounded and practicing the pause. When something happens that's really challenging right now, I very strongly feel like we need to practice the pause. There's things within us that like can awaken, and if we respond immediately, the response is going to be harmful. It's not going to be helpful. So practice the pause, ground your energy, connect to the divine before taking action. And there might need to even be, this is on the bottom of the deck right now. And the card behind that is inner peace. Like we might need to be willing to practice forgiveness to find that inner peace within us. So there might be some opportunities this week. Instead of just reacting like I was talking about, it might be time to practice some forgiveness, and this is going to be a challenge. This is in the reverse position. This is meaning it's not going to come easily, and this is something that has been very impactful and very harmful. And to let that go, there's going to need to be some forgiveness to find that inner peace so that as you move forward, you can be more balanced and more healthy in the future. So that is what I've got for you this week. I hope that this helps in some way for you and that there was a message here for you. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I will talk to you soon.